Hello everyone, welcome back. Another Mets video that we're putting out, and this one's more player specific. This one is more breaking down why the Mets should get the little fake drum roll there, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Now I know Alex made a video which you should check out. He wants the Yankees to go sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but I'm going to tell him he's wrong. No, he's not necessarily wrong, because a lot of teams should want him, but I'm telling you why the Mets should want him in this video. And guys, make sure you to like, comment, subscribe these videos, turn on your post notifications, okay? And we're also, going to be doing a lot more of these videos during the off season for Mets and Yankees content. So, make sure you guys are in tune and with all these videos, and also go check out the Mets live stream that we did last night, and we have the Yankees one coming up as well. But I want to talk about Yoshinobu Yamamoto and why the Mets must sign this man in a heartbeat. So this guy, basically, for anyone that doesn't know, he is the hottest commodity out there, in my opinion. I mean, the free agent class isn't really that strong, and the trade market is not so great either. There's some guys out there, but a lot of guys with either question marks or a lot of guys that could be injured, right? Now, Yamamoto, he's 25 years old. So maybe he's not a prospect, but he's still young enough where you could sign him for long term and be happy with it. And he's probably either the best Japanese pitcher right now, along with Roki Sasaki, who is not eligible to be posted for, I think, another few years. I don't know exactly when that happens, but him and Sasaki are the guys that everyone's been raving about, and Yamamoto was posted on Monday. Now, to read some of the achievements from Yamamoto, he's won the Saramura Award. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but he's won it the last 3 years. That's pretty much their version of the Cy Young, so that's pretty impressive there. He then has also won the last 2 MVP awards. So, as a pitcher, kudos to him. He's racking up the hardware. He's a 5-time All-Star, 3-time Triple Crown with the pitching, which is incredible. And by the way, for that Saramura Award, or the MVP award, he would be the first player, if he won his third, because I don't think it's been announced yet. He would be the first player since Ichiro. That's right. The last guy to win 3 MVPs in the Japanese League was Ichiro winning that. So that would be quite the accomplishment, and that would be something really special, in my opinion. Now, you got to also, think like, okay, so how did he get here? How did he get to where he's at? Well, he started as an 18-year-old with the Oryx Buffaloes, right? And what most people don't know is this guy was actually a reliever at first. He was used as a reliever for the first few seasons. He wasn't really a starting pitcher until 2019. So that is, quite the overhaul and quite the improvement. To become a reliever and turned into a starter. So that is something to keep in mind here. And then, I'll read you some of the 2023 stats. Here was the stat line that he had with the Oryx Buffaloes: 16-6, a 1.21 ERA, a 164 innings pitched. He only, he only gave up 22 earned runs in that span. So that is quite massive. He's at a .88 whip, too. So he is dominating hitters there. A .88 whip. He also has only given up 6.4 hits per 9, 0.1 homers per 9. So this guy keeps the ball in the yard. And 9.3 strikeouts per 9, along with 1.5 walks per 9. So that's just, those numbers speak for themselves, right? Last year, and it wasn't just like a one-off year. This guy has a career record in the Japanese League of 70-29, a 1.82 ERA, 922 strikeouts already, He's also thrown 2 no-hitters in his career, and if you guys watched Alex's video, you should know that, during one of those no-hitters, there were some important people especially for the Yankee fans to go watch him, including Brian Cashman and other people in that front office. I believe Omar Minaya was another person as well. But then, you look at all those numbers. I mean, he's also averaged 2.1 walks per 9, which shows he has good command. He's only in his career 0.4 homers per 9. I mean, and those stats, they'll put him quite top of the leaderboard. I think George Kirby was the best walks per 9 last year, up there with like Sonny Gray. So those are pretty good numbers. And he's a guy that's when he pitches in games, he doesn't die out quickly. So he can give you a good 6, 7, 8. He'll even give you a complete game here and there. He's done that in the past. He had 2 last year. He had 2 the year before. He had 4. He had 2 this year. He had 4 the year before that, and then he had 6 in 2021. So he can go the full distance if required and need be. And then you look at his pitch usage and what he throws. Right, he's got a mid-90s fastball that could it could touch 99 though. It's not going to consistently stay at 99, but somewhere around 93, 96. Where he might be at. And he's got the fastball. It can cut, it can sink, it could rise, so a lot of movement with that fastball. Then he's got a splitter, which who was the last Japanese pitcher we heard that has a really good splitter? Oh, right, last year, Kodai Senga. He plays on the Mets, so why not get 2 guys? We know that Kodai Senga's got the ghost fork, which was like the most unhittable pitch in baseball last year. Guys would just constantly whiff at it and keep whiffing, and they couldn't make any adjustment. And then Yamamoto's also got a slow curveball, kind of like a little rainbow curve, a little maybe a little 12-6 action, but it drops in there beautifully, and it freezes hitters or fools hitters. So Yamamoto's projected as a number 2 starter, but we're gonna have to see, like every Japanese pitcher, how he's gonna adjust to the U.S. game. Now, I've also learned, actually, Alex is the one, and Luca the one that sent me the article reading, which you guys probably heard in Alex's video. This guy does is very, has his own nutritionist, goes on a strict diet and all that. So it shows he takes care of his body and how much of a serious athlete he is. So he doesn't joke around. He wants to be the best pitcher in the game, with all the training he does and all that stuff. And I'm sure, with this Mets, with the new pitching lab, with David Stearns, I'm sure they want him to get there, and I'm sure they want him badly. So we have to see that. But you got to see also compare some of the guys that have come over from Japan. I mean, we already mentioned Kodai Senga had a very strong rookie season last year for the Mets. There was another guy that came over though. Who struggled mightily, and that was Shintaro Fujinami, who his ERA was like over 7. It was like a 7.18. He had a 1.49 WHIP. So he struggled. He got traded mid-season. Senga and Fujinami remind me because they're strikeout pitchers, but they control. They lack control, and they walk a lot of guys. Yamamoto's kind of the opposite. Not that he can't strike out hitters, but he's more of a finesse pitcher, and he's going to, make sure to throw strikes. So that is something to keep note of, because the guy he actually reminds me of a lot is a Masahiro Tanaka. Now, when you look at Tanaka, right, remember, he was a little bit bigger. He's not, Yamamoto looks more lean and flexible out there, a lot more movement with his body and the way he pitches. But, Masahiro Tanaka, right, and I'm talking about his first stint in Japan before he went back after he had his stint with the Yankees. He came over in 2014, right? But his stat line was, before he came over, 1.27 ERA, which is filthy, and a .94 WHIP, right? So he's still doing his thing over there. And he also had a 7.8 strikeouts per 9. So it's not like he was a strikeout artist, but he still can strike out. He just was more a finesse pitcher. There's other guys that are still in the league from Japan that you can maybe try and compare and seeing how they've done. And you got to take a look everywhere you go, kind of thing. For example, some guys aren't as good as others, but one guy you can think of is Yusi Kikuchi, who came over to the Mariners in 2019. But before that, he was a guy that kind of actually, I'd say he was a good pitcher. Like, he had a 3.08 ERA, right? He didn't, he wasn't projected as a frontline ace, because he really was never that. He's been more of a middle of the rotation guy. So again, we see how he is in a sense. And then, you look at other guys, obviously the big fish, Shohei Ohtani, who was a wrecking crew, a guy that can hit and pitch, and he's the best player in the game, mind you. So I don't think Yamamoto will be out of Shohei Ohtani in terms of that, but you look at how Ohtani pitched, because remember, he came over in 2018. Ohtani was, he had a 3.20 ERA his last season, right? He only pitched a few games that year. He had a 10.3 strikeouts per 9 and a 1.26 whip. So that's what Ohtani was before coming over. Another older guy here is before he came to the Dodgers in 2016. Kenta Maeda is someone that was kind of highly touted. 2.09 ERA, 1.01 whip, and then 9.2 strikeouts per 9. I was reading someone else's, as he was very highly touted. He's had some decent success in the MLB. And then you also look at Yu Darvish, who, he's been around for God knows how long now. He came over in 2012 to the Rangers, but when he was in the Japanese league, he was highly touted. 1.44 ERA, a 0.82 whip, and then the strikeouts per 9 were 10.7. So he would he'd strike zone, but he would strike out a lot of batters. And he's been successful in Texas. He went to the Cubs, the Padres now. So he's been pitching for a while. But we see all these guys come over from Japan, and we see how good they are. And I say again that he reminds me most of Tanaka, because they're both finesse pitchers. They're not going to strike out maybe a ton of batters. And Tanaka, he did a good job his first few years. Then he had trouble with the home run ball. But maybe Yamamoto, does a better job than that. We don't know, though. Nobody knows. This guy's pretty much almost like a new prospect, because the way I see it, right, the Japanese league is probably better than AAA in terms of competition. So you get Yamamoto, it's almost like getting the number one pitching prospect in baseball, in a sense. And that's just my view on it. He probably has a higher ceiling than Tanaka, and he projects more as like a number 2 starter in a rotation. And you look at what the Mets have, and now here's why they should sign him. So, obviously, Kodai Senga. Jose Quintana fills out the rotation, the mid-rotation. You got Lucchesi, who can help in the back end. You got Jose Butto that could help in the back end as well for some depth. We're missing like 2 starters, especially one at the top. And you could pair a nice Japanese duo of Kodai Senga and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and that would be a filthy 1-2 punch, okay? A filthy. And also, Kodai Senga has gone out there and pretty much motioned for the Mets to say, hey, that guy Yamamoto? Go get him. Let him play with us. He wants his they weren't teammates, but he wants the other Japanese pitchers. And now the Mets can have 2, okay? They can have 2 guys that they really want, so that they target from Japan. And I got it, like, you know, he's, like I said, he provides youth for the Mets, and it's not like any of these Mets pitchers are ready for a call-up. You know, Christian Scott's not ready. You know, Mike Vassal's not ready. Late Tidwell's not ready, and we don't really know what these guys are yet, so these guys are simply just not ready prospects. So, again, this is why the Mets should go after Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and also there's going to be a ton of guys, ton of teams interested. I mean, the Mets are not the only team. I mean, the Yankees are interested. You know, there's been rumors of the Red Sox. There's been rumors of almost every. You can make an argument that everyone, the Dodgers, the Giants. I mean, forget it, man. I mean, everybody is in on him. Everybody's inquiring about him. So it's going to be a bidding war, and I don't think he's going to sign right away. I think there's going to be a huge bidding war, and toward the mid to later part of his posting, he will be signing somewhere. So there you guys have it. That is why Yamamoto should go to the Mets, not the Yankees. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Turn on the post notifications so you know when our videos and live streams are going on. And you know, happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is tomorrow, so I will see you in the next one.